Okay, so Tiresias departed the stage, as did Oedipus, and now the chorus is left to pick up the pieces here, try to understand what it was that Tiresias was saying and how it could possibly be true. They offer a couple lofty strophes on, the Delphi's rock, um, and but now they return to the actual case at hand. They say this augur has spread confusion, basically meaning the prophet has sown confusion here. They don't approve of what he said, but they can't deny it either. So they don't know what to say. I'm in a flutter of foreboding. And so basically, we're all in this state of uncertainty right now. Oedipus, the chorus, everybody on stage. Okay. The chorus continues on down here and saying that Zeus and Apollo are wise, but among men there is no distinct judgment. We don't know who is right um, between the prophet and ourselves. And they say here that, look, Oedipus has a lot of credibility with us. How can we find fault with this king when he's the one who, in his wisdom, saved the city? So we're not going to condemn him. So you notice right away the reluctance on the part of the chorus to condemn Oedipus. Oedipus has a lot of goodwill stored up here. Um, he introduced himself as greatest among men. The priest acknowledged him as such. The city of Thebes looks upon him highly as a savior. And so you're not going to turn around their conviction in just one bit of prophecy. But that's clearly what they're being asked to do. So now Creon comes in. The chorus takes a little bit of a back seat. But the Creon comes in and he starts talking to the chorus, saying, look, he comes here because he heard that Oedipus has accused him of being a traitor and of seeking the throne and of putting Tiresias up to the accusation that Oedipus was the killer of Laius. The chorus tries to calm him down, but they're not successful in doing so. And now Oedipus comes back out onto the stage, and it is heated from the outset with these two. He calls Creon, Oedipus refers to Creon as coming here with braven-faced daring. He said Oedipus accuses him, Creon, of being the murderer of that man, and now you're trying to rob me of my crown. He says, what did you see in me? Did you think that I was a coward or an idiot, that you could plot like this against me, that you could scheme like this and think that I wouldn't try to counter you? And Creon just pauses here a moment. 601. Do you know what you're doing? Will you listen to words to answer yours and then pass judgment? He's trying to get Oedipus to slow down here. Oedipus continues saying, I found you to be my foe. You are dangerous to me. Okay? But Creon says he's innocent. He didn't do this. And they start to talk about the actual case of the death of Laius. Oedipus asks at 617, how did Laius vanish? Did he die? Was he murdered? What happened to him? And they ask a little bit, now they now talk a little bit about Tiresias, and has he ever been known to be a liar, to be bribed, to be corrupt? They say, look, no. Creon has been in this profession, Creon says that Tiresias has been in this profession for a long time, and he's always been highly honored. So Oedipus now goes on in more of his detective work. Notice that this is his tendency. He's already proved himself to be a rather capable detective with the Sphinx, and now he's employing those tactics again. And he says here, he asks, he's basically the investigating detective. He asks, did you ever make a search for the dead man? Creon responds, we did search, but we never learned anything. And so Oedipus asks, well, why didn't our wise old friend not say this? And Creon says, look, I don't know. I don't know. So Oedipus is basically asking, look, if you, Creon, never learned anything, then how did Tiresias know so much? Okay. All right. So they continue on, and Oedipus and Creon start to argue now about their relationship to each other, how Creon is Jocasta's brother, and so they are bonded in that way. That Creon has acknowledged that Oedipus rules this country and gives her an equal share. Creon says then, too, that I'm a thirdsman to you, too. I'm rated as an equal. And now Oedipus challenges him again and says, that's where you've proved yourself to be a false friend, a liar to me. Okay? And now Creon launches into kind of an extended meditation on kingship and the nature of monarchic rule. He says, look, if you think anyone would choose to rule in fear rather than rule in sleep untroubled by a fear if power were equal in both cases. So he's asking him, look, would anyone want to be king if it meant living in fear, or would they want to rule and be untroubled by fear if the power was equal? And Creon's trying to point out here, saying, look, I was not born with such a frantic yearning to be a king. I don't crave this. I don't have this ambition. I have wisdom and self-control. That's the Greek word we've seen there a couple times before, sophrosune. That's the word that was used in the suffer and learn passage in the Oresteia. When we learn wisdom or discretion, we learn sophrosune. Okay? So, again, Creon just continues on and says, look, I have no interest in being king. I'm not a lover of treason. It's not my nature to join a plot. And if you ever discover that I laid a plot with someone else, he says at 669, 670, then kill me. But don't do it without some proof. Okay? Now, Oedipus is here not convinced. And he responds by saying, when he that plots against me secretly moves quickly, I must quickly counterplot. So he's already thinking about how to act against Creon. He even threatens to kill him. He says here that I'm not going to banish you, I will kill you. And Oedipus says that he thinks that this will be his own interest, and that I am the one who rules this city. Okay? At this moment, things are absolutely heated between these two men, and Jocasta comes out, and this starts the next episode at line 699.